So in about 2 weeks or so, we'll begin our final DLC characters being Trafalgar Law and Grimjow Jaggerjack. I know you guys didn't like my Spanish pronunciation last time, so I fixed it. There's no official word on a season 2 for Jump Force, but there's slight evidence that leans towards another season. However, in this video, I want to touch bases with you guys and see what are your thoughts as we enter, as I call it, the end game for Jump Force. I'm going to go over my final thoughts for the DLC character pass as a whole and how I feel about each individual character as well. Before I do that, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Enigma Kage. I'm an anime gaming content creator amongst many things. Stick around, watch a few of my videos, and hey, maybe you'll subscribe today. As for the returning clan, welcome back. We are almost at what I hope not to be the finish line for Jump Force. I'm just going to say this right now. I do not believe after Jump Festa that is over. I truly believe there's money left on the table and season 2 will definitely happen. We just have to give it some time post Jump Festa, because not everyone watched Jump Festa like we do. Some people may be waiting for an announcement at a bigger award show. If you've been rocking out with me for a while, you have known that I'm both highly supportive and critical of Jump Force, Spike Chunsoft, and how Bandai Namco marketed the whole game. A game that should have been dead on arrival was saved by its fandom and loyal Shonen Jump fans. In late February, Bandai Namco announced the 9 DLC character lineup, and I almost had a heart attack, because there's no way you could have been that dumb with such a lackluster lineup. Those that were excited for the whole pass were Jump Force fans and content creators whose weekly Shonen Jump knowledge doesn't go past 2012.
Gotcha, bitch.
As a fan of the weekly Shonen Jump for over a decade, studied the magazine's history and serialized manga that went into making these 50 years something special, I felt disrespected. They went and bypassed the history and went straight for the profit. On paper, Bisky and Majin Buu is a complete joke and not worthy of being paid content. However, I will commend Spike Chunsoft on the amazing job that they did with all 9 of these characters. They have my utmost respect and trust in making these characters feel special with the limitations within the game. So, was the 9 DLC characters as garbage as I thought they were 10 months ago? The answer is simply no. There are characters that bring players back, and there are characters that are fun for about a day. When All Might dropped, I couldn't stop playing with him. To me, he was amazing. I really didn't want him to be one of the 9 DLC characters when it was Dynamite, but I'm glad he was included. I'm not here to waste your time, so let me get right into the countdown, guys. All Might. All Might was amazingly executed. The model looks a little bit demonic in the Unreal Engine, but Spike Chunsoft did a good job. He, in my opinion, is probably the most underrated DLC character in the entire pass. I wouldn't have chosen him over Todoroki, but I guess they were going for the student and his teacher's type dynamic. Biscuit Kruger. Biscuit is really good in Jump Force. I'm not gonna lie. There's no way she should have made the roster over someone like Hiei or Kurama, but that's a different argument for a different day. Her connections with the Black Whale ship and the arc itself make sense. But so does someone like Corollo, Lucifer. He has a major battle with one of the Jump Force roster members as well. Bisky's inclusion is the only questionable one out of the 9 DLC characters. Although she is highly questionable, she's extremely fun to use and underrated as well. I believe almost everyone in Pack 1 gets 0 to no burn in the present online ranked matches. Moving on, Seto Kaiba. I lobbied for months that there were no way he was getting into Jump Force. I just knew in my heart that there was no way they could animate the Blue Eyes White Dragon without causing massive frame rate issues. Kaiba was a great addition to the roster. I personally wouldn't have included him, but it's like we have 4 stand users on the roster and you can't beat that. Best one out of the original Pack 1, All Might in my opinion. At one point, people didn't even know how to deal with the Oklahoma Smash. Moving on to what was originally DLC Pack 2, Bakugo, Hitsugaya, and Majin Buu. Majin Buu's inclusion is probably the second worst idea Bandai Namco came up with roster-wise. Kid Buu made the most sense, but after months went on, I believe I cracked the code and that they were only allowed a maximum of 2 villains per series. Hence the reason why we got Good Boo instead of Kid Boo. Boo's name being on the list pissed me off in more ways than one. But when he dropped and I actually got my hands on the character, he felt amazing. I've seen players extend combos with his Vaporize, or even 2-for-1 someone with his explosive ultimate. Majin Buu is a legit character that should have been on base roster. There's no disputing that. Bakugo. Bakugo is one of the best of the 9, and it's undisputed at this point. Bakugo being in the season pass kept a lot of disgruntled Shonen Jump fans at ease. Personally, I hate the character. I really do not like Bakugo, and it's no offense to Bakugo fans. But in Jump Force, he's a delight to play with. He deserved this spot over the other 9, and it's not even close at this point. And finally for Pack 2, Toshiro Hitsugaya. Toshiro is a complete animal in Jump Force. Them delaying him may have killed off a lot more of the player base, but seeing highlights of people using him, or even using him myself in my hands-on video, really brought joy to me. Jump Force is the only game where you're going to get a great Bleach representation in a fighting game setting. Was he worth the delay? Yes, but the delay shouldn't have happened in the first place. They had ample amount of time to get it right. The final 3. The last 3 to represent the official big 3, that being One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. Madara Uchiha by far is one of my favorite antagonists in the Weekly Shonen Jump history. I believe he should have been in the base roster, but they knew that they had a pretty weak lineup on paper, so they stuffed it with him, Grimmjow, and Bakugo. Madara feels great. He almost feels as crisp as his Storm 4 version, but let's not get beside ourselves. Madara is a no-brainer when it comes to including him into the character pass. I just think giving us Edo Madara was a bit lazy. Jubi Madara would have taken more development time, but the payoff would have felt special. As for Law and Grimmjow, we do not have hands-on material, but we know the moves and see their models. They have 2 of the best models in the character pass. Law being included, but the Dressrosa stage isn't. The team working on the ideas of what goes in and out of the roster needed some assistance because Whole Cake Island fits absolutely no one on the roster, and yeah, that includes Luffy. Finally, Grimmjow. Grimmjow looks to be the cornerstone of the pass. You have to finish strong with such a successful selling of the game. Grimmjow looks to be loads of fun when he drops. I am not the biggest fan of the character, but I've always loved his design. Grimmjow, Law, Bakugo, Toshiro, and Madara makes the character pass worth it. Do I believe these were worthy of base roster? Absolutely. No way anyone should have to pay for Biscuit Kruger. Anyway, we have about 2 weeks. I give it to the 18th that we get our final couple characters. Tournament mode is also on the way, so keep a lookout for that as well. In the comment section below, put aside your missing representation feelings, right? How are the characters as a whole to you? As always, I'm Enigma, signing off. Peace, guys.